Hi, Prema Gurreri, Vedic astrologer, success mentor, solutionary.com. I was talking to a woman earlier today for her Sacred Wealth Code reading, and it was the third person that I talked to this week who had the same issue. And I know if I'm getting it in threes, that you might be facing this too. So I wanted to talk to you about this today. She said, "How long, Prema, am I going to have to do it like this? I don't know if I'm on the right track. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing." And I said, "Do you love it?" And she said, "Yeah, I do love it." And I said, "Do you love it enough to give it everything you've got?" And she had to think for a moment. And she says, "Well, I'm not sure." She said, "I think I do." I said, "So what is holding you back?" She said, "Well, I'm doing it, but I," and this was her healing practice, and she's writing a book, and it's about this practice, and she's seeing clients, and she's transitioning from one healing modality to the other, and she's not sure about fully stepping in because she doesn't know if she'll fully be accepted, number one. Number two, she says she's been at this a while, and she's just not getting that sign back like she's on the right track, i.e., making a lot of money, getting the recognition, feeling totally supported. And that's why I brought her back to, are you like really committed? Do you love it? So here's the thing. If you love it, it doesn't matter anyway. Like, it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt your heart. It's going to hurt your soul if you don't do it. So you might as well do it anyway. And if you're going to do anything, gosh, give it all you've got. That's what it takes. It takes giving it all you got. I also told her, I know that you have been through a challenging time. It has been, we've had some tough aspects, this last couple of years, and there have been challenges. And when your soul puts you through challenges, it can feel like you're in the dark for a while. I know when I was in the dark night of the soul, it was a year of being on my knees, on my knees, a lot of praying, a lot of trusting, a lot of faith, and a lot of letting go. And letting go is not always sexy, and it's usually a solo journey. So let me circle back here. When we are in darker times, when we are challenged, our soul is calling us to grow in a different way. There's that outward growth with the light of the summer and the light of the year we have coming up for 2017 with some of the aspects we have coming up. I'll talk about that in just a moment. And then there's the soul growth. Like, we're going into the darker time of the year now, and this is where we want to find the light within. So what do you do when you're in the dark? What do you do when you're in a challenging time? What do you do when you are going through your own dark night of the soul, or in just the darker time of the year, and you can't kind of find your happiness or joy, or can't find enough energy to do what you know you need to do? You've got to turn inward, yes. And you've got to look for the light where it is. The light is always going to be within. So when you feel challenged or you feel like you're in the dark, the thing is you cannot see all your choices. You can't see all your choices. Imagine being in a dark room that has 3 doors in it. And outside door number 1 are all the clients that or customers that you could ever desire. Door number 2, maybe you're ready for that next relationship and it's your lover is over there. And door number 3 is the next collaboration that you have been looking for, that's going to really help you make your mark in the world and be able to really support people with your gift and just really shine big and bright. But you're in the dark, so you can't see that there's any doors. Well, when you're challenged, or when we're having more challenging aspects, you can't see all the choices. So you want to stay with it until it gets light. And then you want to, during that time, trust that light within that you are on the right track. When it's light, you can see the doors, you can open them, you have more choices available to you. But the truth is, those choices are always there, you just can't always see them. So how do you see them? How do you know if you're on the right track? Do you love it? Number 1, make that choice. If you do, stay with it. You just got to tell yourself the truth. You have to tell yourself the truth. Is this what I'm meant to be doing? If it's a yes, no matter what, the light is at the end of the tunnel, but you've got to stay in the tunnel long enough to get to the light. And is this time for me to take a different direction? When it's actually time to take a different direction, you usually have a hit, like you know it in the marrow of your bones. You're not in love with it anymore. You're not on the right track. But a lot of times people get distracted in taking different turns because they haven't stayed with something long enough or given it their all or brought all of their high value gifts, which is what your wealth code holds for you, into what they're doing. They're trying to do it like you're trying to do it like somebody else. And you can also be stuck in your own shadow, on the shadow side of your wealth code. And that will keep you from stepping in fully and being that leader that you are here to be, to being that amazing connector that you're here to be, that amazing intuitive communicator that you're, here, or that warrior, that honorable warrior who was going to make a difference and stand in for those that you really feel called for taking a stand for. So it's just time to get really squeaky clean with yourself. I want you to know that this next year coming up, we're coming into a time of great light. I'll talk to you a little bit more in the future in our next video about Jupiter and where Jupiter is and where it's shining its light. But I want you to know, 2017, the energy is much different. Things are moving quicker. It is highly important you're in creation energy. You're doing your thing, not somebody else's thing. That you're doing your thing, that you're bringing your authenticity forward. That's what the world is demanding. That's what we're all demanding of each other. And frankly, that's what the world needs as well. And we have a time coming up where Venus is going to be exalted next year, from the end of January all the way till the end of May. And Venus is the great connector. Venus is, it brings us in touch with beauty and sacred beauty. Venus is the artist. Which is another, sacred beauty. And Venus is also the muse, that intuition. And that's going to be in such a strong place for all of us. Now, that's going to hit you in a different place, and it's a different part of your wealth code. But what I want you to know is there's light coming up. And I want, if you're in the dark right now, I want you to know there is light at the end of the tunnel. Get really honest with yourself. Tell yourself the truth. Are you doing what you love? Do you know this is your calling? If you're doing it, it's your calling. You've answered the call. That's a good thing. If you need help figuring that out, reach out and let's get you that help. We'll do a sacred wealth code reading. Make sure you're on the right path. And if you aren't sure and you keep questioning yourself, it's time to get really clear. So you can simply do this. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, put your hand on your heart. Tell yourself the honest to spirit truth, the honest to God truth. Am I on my path? And have I given it all I've got? If you haven't, please do. We need you. Imagine a world where everybody is in their highest value gifts. Everybody is shining brightly because we're giving the best of ourselves, but we're also blessing each other and really serving the world in doing that. The world needs your gift, and you need your gift in order to fully step into yourself and authentically be who you've come here to be. All right, blessed be.